Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to look at another mystery case.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the latest headlines surrounding hip-hop mogul Diddy Combs. From groundbreaking business moves to music history, Diddy has always been a name that sparks conversation. But recently, it's not his chart-topping hits or business ventures making the news, it's serious legal charges. In this video, we're breaking down the charges against Diddy, explaining what they mean, how they came about, and what could be next for one of the most influential figures in the music industry. Let's get into it. 2 years ago, rap musician and mogul Diddy Combs threw a lavish 53rd birthday party at his $61 million mansion in Beverly Hills. A host of stars lined up to toast his career, with a guest list that included Jay-Z, Travis Scott, J Blige, Kehlani, Tinashe, Chris Brown, and Machine Gun Kelly. The party coincided with his 30th year in the music industry, 3 decades in which he formed his own entertainment empire and changed the sound of hip-hop, both as an artist and a producer for the likes of Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, and the Notorious B.I.G. Diddy Combs, who is the US rapper accused of sex trafficking. Fast forward to 2024 and his career is on the ropes. In a case filed in New York, the star has been accused of kidnapping, drugging, and coercing women into sexual activities, sometimes through the use of firearms and threats of violence. The same Los Angeles mansion that hosted his birthday party was raided by police in March. There, officers seized supplies that they say were intended for use in orgies known as freak-offs, including drugs and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Mr. Combs has denied all of the charges, entering a not guilty plea on Tuesday, 17 September. The court case comes after a year in which the musician has faced lawsuits from a number of women. Here's how the allegations against Mr. Combs have stacked up. 16th November 2023, Cassie's lawsuit. Cassandra Ventura, a singer and model known as Cassie, was signed to Mr. Combs' record label and dated him for more than a decade. But in a civil lawsuit, she said the mogul had used his position of power to set the groundwork for a manipulative and coercive romantic and sexual relationship. Her lawsuit included graphic descriptions of violent abuse, alleging that Mr. Combs regularly beat and kicked Ms. Ventura, leaving black eyes, bruises, and blood. She described parties known as freak-offs, drug-fueled, days-long sexual performances, which Mr. Combs allegedly coerced women into and filmed for his own pleasure. Mrs. Ventura also accused the musician of sexual abuse and rape and claimed that many of these incidents were witnessed by his tremendously loyal network, who were not willing to do anything meaningful to stop the violence. The lawsuit also alleged that Mr. Combs destroyed a car belonging to US rapper Kid Cudi to dissuade him from dating her. Mr. Combs strenuously denied the allegations and accused Ms. Ventura of extortion. They settled the case for an undisclosed amount a day after it was filed in New York, with Mr. Combs maintaining his innocence. November to December 2023, more lawsuits allege sexual assault. In the weeks after settling Cassie's lawsuit, Mr. Combs was accused of sexual assault dating back to 1991 by multiple women. One lawsuit was filed anonymously by a woman who claimed Mr. Combs and another man had coerced her into sex. In a second, Joy Dickerson-Neal accused the star of drugging and sexually assaulting her when she was a college student in 1991. She also claimed he filmed the attack and showed it to other people without her consent. A third woman, Liza Gardner, filed court papers accusing Mr. Combs and another man of raping her and her friend more than 30 years ago when she was 16. Ms. Gardner also alleged that Mr. Combs had turned violent days after the attack, choking her so hard that she passed out. In the lawsuit, she said Mr. Combs had become irate while trying to track down her friend, because he was worried she would inform the girl he was with at the time. The lawsuits all came shortly before the expiration of the New York Adult Survivors Act, which temporarily allowed people who said they had been sexually abused to file claims even after the statute of limitations had expired. Mr. Combs denied all the allegations, and his spokesperson called the lawsuits a money grab. December 2023, underage sex claim. Another woman sued in December claiming she was sex trafficked and gang raped by Mr. Combs, former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre, and another man in 2003 when she was 17. In a court papers, the woman, known only as Jane Doe, alleged she was given copious amounts of drugs and alcohol before the attack and was left in so much pain that she could barely stand or remember how she got home. In response, Mr. Combs said he did not do any of the awful things being alleged. while Mr. Pierre said the disgusting allegations were false and a desperate attempt for financial gain. Diddy's denial. On the 6th of December, Mr. Combs responded to the flurry of lawsuits with a statement on his Instagram page. "Enough is enough," he wrote. "For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." February 2024. Accusations of grooming. Music producer Rodney Jones Jr., who produced 9 tracks on 2023's The Love album, sued Mr. Combs in February 2024, accusing the star of making unwanted sexual contact and forcing him to hire prostitutes and participate in sex acts with them. In court papers filed in New York, Mr. Jones also claimed that Mr. Combs tried to groom him into having sex with another man, telling him it was a normal practice in the music industry. Mr. Combs' lawyer Sean Hawley called Mr. Jones nothing more than a liar and described his claims as pure fiction that could be discredited by overwhelming, indisputable proof. 17th May 2024, Cassie assault video leaked. CCTV footage emerged showing Mr. Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016. The pictures broadcast by CNN showed a man pushing Miss Ventura to the floor and kicking her while she was on the ground. He later attempted to drag her by her shirt and throw an object at her. A day later, Mr. Combs apologized, saying, "I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now." Miss Ventura later posted a statement highlighting the lifelong impact of domestic violence. "It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become," she wrote. 21st May 2024, former model sues. Model and actress Crystal McKinney accused Mr. Combs of drugging her and forcing her to perform oral sex in the bathroom of a New York City recording studio in 2003. 2 days later, Mr. Combs was sued again by April Lampros, who alleged 4 instances of sexual assault between 1995 and about 2000. Ms. Lampros claimed she met the musician in 1994 while a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, and that an initially romantic relationship quickly turned into an aggressive, coercive, and abusive relationship based on sex. In one incident, she claimed the star forced her to take ecstasy and have sex with his then-girlfriend. July 2024. Combs maintains innocence as 8th lawsuit filed. Former adult film star Adria English claims she was groomed into sex trafficking over time in a number of events between 2004 and 2009 at Mr. Combs' star-studded parties. His lawyer Jonathan Davis responded, "No matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone." 10 September 2024, no show at court hearing. Mr. Combs failed to attend a virtual hearing for a lawsuit filed against him by Derek Lee Cardello Smith, a Michigan inmate who claimed the star drugged and sexually assaulted him at a party in Detroit in 1997. The no-show led to a default judgment against Mr. Combs, who was ordered to pay Mr. Cardello Smith $100 million, $75 million fine. The judgment was later set aside after the musician's lawyers filed an appeal. 11th September 2024, girl band star sues. Dawn Richard, a former singer in Mr. Combs' girl group project Danity Kane, filed a suit against the star. The singer, who later joined Mr. Combs in the band Diddy Dirty Money, alleged that the musician sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions by touching her body, as well as verbally abusing and overworking her. 16th September 2024, Combs is arrested. The star was arrested in a Manhattan hotel room after a grand jury indictment. His lawyer said the star had cooperated with authorities and voluntarily relocated to New York in anticipation of the charges. "These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court," he added. 17th September 2024, charges and details of freak-offs revealed. In an appearance at the U.S. District Court in New York, Mr. Combs was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. In an indictment that was unsealed at the same time, prosecutors alleged that he also engaged in kidnapping, forced labor, bribery, and other crimes. They described him as the head of a criminal enterprise that abused women, using threats of violence to force them into participating in drug-fueled orgies with male prostitutes. These freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances and were highly organized parties, prosecutors said. Mr. Combs' associates allegedly booked hotel suites, recruited sex workers, and distributed drugs including cocaine, methamphetamine, and oxycodone to coerce partygoers into sex and keep them obedient. His staff allegedly arranged travel for the victims and organized the supply of intravenous fluids to help them recover from the parties, which sometimes lasted for days. Prosecutors also alleged that Mr. Combs taped the freak-offs and would use the footage to pressure his victims into silence. If convicted, the musician faces a sentence of 15 years up to life in prison. Mr. Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, declared his client's innocence and described the freak-offs as consensual. Is it sex trafficking? He asked. Not if everybody wants to be there. Mr. Combs pleaded not guilty to the charges, but he was denied bail after prosecutors argued that he posed a significant risk to the trial, reporting that he had already tried to obstruct the government's investigation of this case, repeatedly contacting victims and witnesses and feeding them false narratives of events. The judge cited the star's anger issues and history of substance abuse as reasons for keeping him detained until the trial. My concern is that this is a crime that happens behind closed doors, he said. Mr. Combs' lawyers appealed the decision, offering to place the star under the watch of a round-the-clock private security team. However, Judge Andrew L. Carter Jr. said that even under those terms, Mr. Combs could still use employees to contact witnesses. He will be detained at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center until his trial. No date has been set, but a conference hearing regarding the proceedings is due on Tuesday, the 24th of September. Combs' next court date is on Wednesday, 9th October, where his lawyers will again appeal the decision to refuse him bail. 24th September 2024, 11th lawsuit accuses star of rape. Combs was moved to a special unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center, separate from the general prison population. Around the same time, he was served with a new lawsuit from a woman who claimed Combs and his bodyguard had drugged, bound, and violently raped her in 2001 and later showed a video of the attack to others. In a news conference, Dahlia Graves said the lasting effects of the assault had created a cycle of suffering from which it is hard to break free, adding that she felt worthless, isolated, and sometimes responsible for what had happened to her. 1st October 2024, more than 100 new assault allegations. A lawyer said more than 100 people plan to sue Combs for sexual assault, rape, and sexual exploitation. Tony Busby said he was representing his 120 people, half of whom were men and 25 of whom were minors. The first time Mr. Combs has been accused of sexually abusing children. One was age 9 at the time of the alleged assault. Mr. Busby said his firm was working to vet another 100 cases. Mr. Combs' lawyer said the rapper emphatically and categorically denied the allegations, saying they were false and defamatory. 6 October 2024, Janice Small Combs, Sean Combs' mother, said in a statement through her family's attorney, she is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations against her son. She adding those accusing him of misconduct are seeking a financial gain, and likened Combs to many individuals who have been wrongfully convicted due to their past actions or mistakes. Though she also said Combs has made mistakes and may have been not entirely truthful when denying assault allegations raised by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. 8 October 2024, lawyers for Combs filed paperwork asking he be allowed to await trial outside of the Metropolitan Detention Center where he resides, claiming the initial decision to deny him bail was unfairly distorted by the attention on the case. The initial judge, who has since been replaced, ruled Combs should stay in jail so he can't use his money and influence to interfere in the government's case against him. 9 October 2024, Combs' team filed a memo alleging that the Department of Homeland Security leaked a surveillance video that showed him abusing his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, though prosecutors have denied the allegations and said they did not obtain that video until it was made public by CNN. Combs' lawyers requested a trial on April or May 2025 for his sex trafficking charges, though prosecutors did not disclose their own trial date preference, the Associated Press reported. October 10, 2024, Combs appeared in court for the first time since his arrest, where a trial date of May 5th was set for him to face federal charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. 11 October 2024. A U.S. appeals court referred Combs' latest request for bail to a panel of 3 judges, but ruled he will remain behind bars until a decision is made.
Thanks for watching. Write your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel not to miss the next mystery story from real life.